Yeah, so Abe and I got to be very good friends while touring all over France together. And at one point, about 5 years into those gigs, Abe was about to consider coming back to France for one more gig, one more tour. I did it, and I got a call from him saying, I'm not going to go. I've got this opportunity. I'm going to be playing. I've got an album with Paul McCartney. Like, what? Can you just not wash your hand?
Yeah, exactly.
By that time, you'll have shaken his hand, and I'm going to need to shake that hand.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so Abe does the record with Paul. I come back from France, and Abe is at a party, my birthday party, and I said, so, Paul McCartney, tell me more about it. And he's going, oh my God, it was just so fun. He's so cool. He's so generous. It was great. It was very creative. It was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I know the other guitar player that's in it, Rusty, and I don't know who's going to be playing. Who's going to play bass when he plays guitar or piano, and then wouldn't that person switch to guitar when he plays bass? He goes, yeah, we're looking for a guitar player who plays bass. And I said, I'd love a shot at that.
Oh, well, good on you, man, for speaking up.
Like he hadn't thought of it. And, like that was the one time where I thought, I'm going to shoot my hand up in the air.
Yep.
And give it a go. And long story short, here I am. So,
how many years was Sir Paul?
Now I've been with Paul McCartney for 19 years. Yeah.
No one has a gig for 19 years, Brian Ray. No one does. What is up with you?
It's crazy.
What's the secret of keeping? Okay. Hold on a second. First of all, these are two unbelievable gigs.
Yes.
Getting the gigs is one thing. Keeping the gigs is something completely different.
Oh, we all know that. It's so true. Well, all I can say is the four of us in the band behind Paul, that's Wicks on keyboards and musical director, Abe, Rusty, and myself, have all been there the same amount of time as a band. Now, Wicks was there years before as well, starting in 89, I think.
Wow.
So we were lucky enough to have somebody who, before Paul joined us for the first rehearsals, knew where sort of the bones were, in these performances and what to do. So Wicks was able to sort of, lay it out for us and help us as we learned the songs for 5 days before Paul got there to join us, for just 6 more days before our first gig. Literally, that's how fast it was.
Tell me a little bit about the rehearsal and what you had to do before Paul came in.
Yeah, so fortunately, as I was saying, Wicks, having been there before on keyboards, could help lead us through the first few days of rehearsal before Paul arrived. So we had 5 days of rehearsal as a 4-piece band, learning 45 songs before Paul came in to play for 6 more days, and then we were on tour. That was it. And, it was a lot, and it was exciting. It was thrilling. It was scary. I didn't really allow myself to call anybody and tell them I had the gig with Paul McCartney until that 6th day with him, where he said, okay, guys, sounds great. See you tomorrow. Then I was like, oh my God, I think I'm going on tour.
You got the gig.
Yeah. And then it's all like you were saying before, it's like then keeping the gig becomes the thing. And that's, I guess, mostly about, fitting in and establishing trust and having fun. And I don't know, being fun to be around, being a good hang,
Yeah. Because you guys play, 2.5, 3 hours, but the other 21 hours, you're not on stage, and you have to be able to be compatible with these people, whether you're on the tour bus or the jet or whatever the case may be, on whatever tour, at any level. It really truly is about the hang and in your ability to kind of find your way through that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, and you don't get to be in any group for 19 years without some kind of friction here and there. And I'm not saying there hasn't been, because we're four grown men with varying degrees of strong opinions, and behaviors and stuff. And you're right, sometimes it's close quarters. But at least on tour, we each have our own room, so you can slide away, and we're not playing 6 nights a week because it's Paul. So
right.
it's more like 3. So you really do have quite a lot of let's say 4 nights a week.
Yeah.
You have quite a lot of time away from the pod, and that's how you restore your energy.
Got it. So do you consider yourself the bass player in this band, or you get to do it all?
I'm a guitar player, of course, and I learned to play bass better because that was the job description, is to be a guitar player who played some bass rather than a bass player who played some guitar, right? So I would just say I'm the guitar player who plays stunt bass and picks up a little bass here and there.
Stunt bass.
I end up playing, 60% of the show on bass, because he plays whatever he wrote the song on or whatever he's comfortable playing live. And so most of the time he wasn't writing songs in the Beatles on bass.
Yeah.
That's just what he played when they played live.
Right.
And all of his solo stuff was either piano or guitar centered when he wrote, as far as I know. So it would default to me playing bass because he's going to be on piano, or he's going to be on guitar or mandolin or ukulele or whatever, so I've just got to be ready to play whatever he's not playing.
You're the utility man. And so is he, because he can do it all. You can do it all. What a blast.
Well, he does it all a little more than I do, but quite a bit. I mean, wow, Paul McCartney, what an incredible gift to humanity Paul McCartney is.